So the first thing that I want us to do to get started is literally breathe. Come on, everybody just breathe. Yes. Become the leader of your life. Lead yourself to where you want to be. Breathe life back into your ambitions, your desires, your goals, and your relationships. The second thing I want you to do is bend every rule so you will not break. Today, I am going to challenge you, and every single speaker here is going to challenge you to step out of your comfort zone, to go beyond where you thought you could go, to stretch your mind and your thinking to create new strategies. The next thing I want you to do, enjoy the moment. Listen, you don't have to worry about your kids for the next few hours. You don't have to worry about your boss calling you. You don't have to worry about people, your employees. Just enjoy the moment. Sometimes we get so stressed, rushing through traffic, running here. We have 100 different things on our mind. But today, I am giving you permission to enjoy the moment. So I started off in New Jersey, as they said in my bio. And I am a New Jerseyan for life. I've lived there most of my entire life. Did a lot of things, and as they were reading my bio, you're correct, I do not stay still. And one of the things that I found pleasure in is being able to give back to the community. So for many years, I worked in the inner cities of Philadelphia with single parents, trying to go back to school, trying to raise their children in the inner workings of the city. And then I got an opportunity to go back to school, get my master's degree, started my own practice, and was able to do therapy for the last 10 years. And so my husband comes home and tells me that he has a great opportunity. And I said, great. He says, it's in Kentucky. I said, I don't know about that. And one thing led to another. He gets an opportunity of a lifetime. He is here today. I had him running around on a goose chase. Raise your hand, honey. I had him running around on a goose chase. And one thing led to another, and here we are. And it should have been the best moment of my life, that my husband gets a great opportunity. We're moving to a great place. But do you know that I was depressed for at least 6 months? We moved here in 2015. And I was depressed for at least 6 months. Woe is me. What am I going to do? Because in New Jersey, I had a status. In New Jersey, I had a name. In New Jersey, I had a parking space with my name on it. In New Jersey, people knew me. I had a connection with women and a connection of network. And all of a sudden, I found myself in a place where I felt lost. And I realized something very important, which was I had done something that I had told all of my clients not to do, which was I had connected all of who I was to where I was. But you know, one of the greatest lessons I learned was that you will never receive anything greater than your belief system allows. One of the greatest things I learned is I will not step into anything that I don't deserve. I used to run track, and I was good too. I was good. I was a sprinter. I used to run track. And at a certain point, I came from Carl Lewis's school. Those who know Carl Lewis, I know I'm dating myself, but those who know Carl Lewis, I went to his school, ran in his track club, and I ran sprints, and I was fast, and people started to know my name. And at a certain point, right around my junior year, I started losing every single race. And I got so discouraged. So because I started losing every race, I started practicing on the weekends. I started doing more. I started exercising and stretching. And it didn't matter. Every single time that I came to the line, I would get up against somebody and I would lose. And one day my track coach said, I have figured it out. I know why you're losing. I was like, just tell me what to do. I just got to win. He said, you lose because before you get to the line, you don't think you can win. And how many of us have ever experienced a place in our life where we lose before we even get to the starting line. I knew how to get out of the blocks. I had the potential. I had purpose. I was strong. I was fast. But I was missing the most important ingredient. That was my belief. The one that is successful is able to rise past the challenge, not because they're stronger, not because they're smarter, not because they have more money, but it's because of how they perceived the challenge. It's not the challenge itself. It's how you see the challenge. It's what you say to yourself about the challenge every single day. And how you see it will dictate what you do with it. The power of perspective. I was speaking to a friend who's here today, and she told a group of us, Bluegrass Women's Empowerment Network is in Lexington. I got that started. I'm really excited about it, and we had an empowerment workshop last week. And she told a group of us that she had spent most of her life chasing after her dream, doing everything she could to get from one place to the next. And I have learned that we are like her, and that we spend energy and time trying to escape the moments where nothing seems to be happening or too much is going on. But the power of perspective teaches this one important principle, which I am telling everybody because it's something I've had to embrace myself. You cannot get to next until you nurture now. Where you are has everything to do with where you are going. You may not like the moment that you're in. You may have lost expectation in the moment and what may happen with your business or your product. But your job is to find the launching pad to your future within the difficulty of your present situation. I'm going to say that again. Your job is to find the launching pad to your future within the difficulty of your present situation. And I have learned something very important. When you do not believe in now, you will never prepare for what's next. Several years ago, I had a job in the inner cities of Philadelphia. And while I loved my clients, I loved those girls. These girls, I'm telling you, I can't even imagine how they were able to come to school every day based on the war that they were experiencing back at home. But there was something about the company that I absolutely hated. I hated the job. Has anybody ever had a job where you had to sit in the parking lot? Okay, she's already raising her hand in the back. You had to sit in the parking lot for at least, you had to get there 10 minutes early to sit in the parking lot to get yourself together. Raise your hand. I hated this job. And my every waking thought was to get out of this job. Every waking moment. I put in resumes. I networked. I did everything I could. I didn't like the company. I didn't feel like they recognized me. I didn't feel like they promoted people from within. And year after year, yes, I said year after year, I could not get out. And one day I was praying, and I was crying, and I believe what the message I heard was, you will not go to the next level till you outgrow where you are. And what I did not realize, and what I had to learn in that moment, is that this was a growth moment. I may not like where I am, but what is the moment trying to teach me? What I didn't know would be that 6 years later, I'd be running my own counseling practice. And every single thing that I had to do, which I thought was dumb and tedious and stupid, I had to put into practice 6 years later. Listen, girls, here's point number 2. And I want everybody to pay attention. This is so profound. It's like crazy. Learn how to say no. You know what? I want you to do something real radical. I just want you to practice on your partner and just say no. Come on, I just want you no. All day long, I just want you to practice all day. Just no. You know what? When you leave here, people are going to think you're crazy. Practice. They're going to think you're crazy because you're just saying no. And they're like, I didn't ask you anything. Like, I'm just practicing my no. Practice. Just no. And I want you to say with a good attitude, no. How often do you sacrifice a yes to accommodate people that can't handle your no? We must decide that if we're going to break barriers, that someone else's crisis cannot be your priority. I'm going to say that with an attitude. Y'all, she said, say it again. We have to decide. Sometimes the barrier is because we don't say no. We are busy carrying everybody else's dream, carrying all our family members. People, when you're in the middle of doing something, people will call you, can you pick up so-and-so? Can you do this? Can you now be a sponsor here? All of those things. Sponsor my child. Give him a ride. And so it's not the request. It's when we keep saying yes that becomes the problem. And I want you to know that when you say no, it's not because you're sitting around and you don't have anything else to do. I'm saying no to this so I can say yes to that. So we have to stop, watch this, taking ownership of problems that we did not help create. I want y'all all to write that down. I will stop taking ownership of problems that I did not help to create. Women, we have been groomed to be rescuers and saviors and mamas and we boo-boo and we baby people and people call and sometimes they're our best girlfriends and they call us up. Now you know you're tired. And you do not want to talk to her at 11 o'clock at night. But you feel so bad because she's going through a divorce and she's just really going through a rough time. And really, you're like, oh, God, please lose my number. Come on, don't leave me by myself. How many of you believe that's true? You might be next to your friend, so don't raise your hand. For the dreamer, sometimes you have to tell yourself, not yet. Sometimes the no, we have to tell ourselves, not no, not yet. Some of us in here, we're dreamers. We wake up every single day with a brand new idea, a brand new invention, a brand new product. And some of us, we get stuck. We face barriers because of our own ideas. We keep trying to implement one thing after another every single year. And what you have to learn is that you have to spend your energy and time into the one thing that you are the most passionate about right now. So just because you cannot do that business today doesn't mean it will never be done. Finally, you must get clear on your assignment. You have to understand what your core is. You cannot afford this year to do anything that is not related to your core passion, purpose, agenda, and goal. Limited resources plus high demand equals an atmosphere of desperation. When you have limited resources and everybody wants you, they want your product, they want you to come, it creates an atmosphere of desperation. And so you can have a wonderful plan, an idea, a concept, but if you have the wrong people around you, you will fail in an atmosphere you were supposed to succeed in. Sometimes it's not that we have the wrong people in our life. We have the right people in the wrong place. Sometimes we have the right people, but we have put them in the wrong place. Some of us have managers when we need leaders, and some of us have leaders when we need to have managers. I was speaking and doing some consulting work in Lexington with a church, and the pastor told me he wanted to have eagles flying with him. And I said, and I want to produce eagles. I said, now, you got to be careful when you say you want eagles, because the concept sounds well, but eagles like to fly alone. You can't have a team made up of all eagles, and you can't have a team made up of all pigeons. And what I said to this person is, you must decide. The person that you are coming alongside of you, you must vet them. You must interview them. We must always be in the interviewing process. Every time you talk to someone, they don't need to know this, but you must be interviewing this person. What do you do? Who are you? Where are you? Where's your passion? Sometimes we just talk and we're just very basic, but we must be interviewing people to find out where they fit. And so we have to find out when we start hiring people, are you an eagle? Are you a pigeon? Have you ever done this before? We've got to ask the right questions.